Have you ever designed a website that looked perfect on Figma, but when the developer built it, something just felt off? The spacing wasn't right, the animations weren't smooth, and the interactions not quite the way you imagined. This happened to me so many times that I started building some of these websites myself. You've seen me building websites and all in the past in my videos. But at times I wonder, what if I'm designing it in the wrong place? So I challenged myself. I'm going to design the website for a creator management business that my friend Tanishk has started. He has been asking me to do it for quite some time, but I thought I would do it but a little differently. I will design it without touching Figma. Yes, you heard me right, and no, I don't mean that I will use AI design or use a template. I'll do a proper high-touch design, just like I do on Figma, but this time I will do it directly where the website will be published, with real interactions and responsive behavior built from day one. The tool is Framer. Now, most of you know what Framer is. It's a website builder. I've also made a few videos in the past on Framer, but now things have changed. Framer is not just a website builder anymore. It's actually a full-fledged design tool. They recently launched Design Pages, which gives you a free-form canvas to design on, just like Figma. You get all the professional design tools like vector editing with inline SVG animation, P3 colors for vibrant gradients, 3D transforms, advanced masking, curated fonts, and premium icon collection built right in. You can also use wireframer to generate multiple page layouts side by side for rapid iteration. And when you're ready, any design becomes a live website in just one click. It's one place for your entire web design workflow. And they are offering it completely for free with unlimited projects, pages, and collaborators. What's the catch? That's what I'm going to find out today. I will call this exercise a success if I'm able to successfully design the website for my friend without using Figma and without missing any of the essential features of Figma that I may need to design this website. Let's jump in. So here we are on Framer. I've created a free account with my Google account. You can use your Gmail ID, and here is the interface of how Framer looks when there are no projects around. I'm using the Mac app. It can run on the browser as well, but I particularly chose the Mac app because some of the keyboard shortcuts work better here. And there's a reason behind it, because some of the keyboard shortcuts I found work better on the Mac app because I use Arc browser that has its own set of keyboard shortcuts. At times they tend to clash. So that's why I'm using the Mac app, but it works perfectly on the browser as well. Why I'm particular about keyboard shortcuts is because, you see, I also have Figma out here, and today we are not going to touch Figma at all, right? I've just kept it beside so that in case I get tempted, maybe I'll click. But I hopefully won't need to do that because everything will happen on Framer. Keyboard shortcuts, because most of the keyboard shortcuts that work on Figma also work on Framer and does the same thing, right? So that's why I want to leverage some of those things for faster designing, right? All right, so let's go ahead and click on New Project here. So when I click New Project, a screen is going to open up. Yes, something is loading. And I have an option to pick a template if I want to. Yeah, feel free to go ahead and pick a template, but I'm going to start with a blank project because today I'm not necessarily going to test the website building ability of Framer. We already know that, and if you're new to it, go watch some of my older videos that I had made. But today I'm going to test the designing ability of Framer. Of course, we'll also build a website in the process, but I'm going to test particularly the designing aspect of Framer, which is new, right? So I'm going to click on blank project. And when I click on blank project, you see we land here, right? If we land here, it says pages. It looks very similar to how Framer was before, but there's one new thing which you might have almost missed, which is this small thing which says design, right? You always had this pages. All the websites that you build, you're going to have all of these things out here, but this design thing is new. So if I go and click on this plus, I can go ahead and make a page here, right? So let me just go ahead and give it a name. For 4am Media is the name of my friend's agency. I'm going to call it 4am site home or something like that. So this is a page, and I can go ahead and create a frame here, right? And you see pages, I already have a frame, which is, 1200 by something. So I'm just going to create a 1200 pixels wide frame out here, similar to what we had on this. Now this design, this world is my Figma. Like, this is my Figma. This is the live pages. I can even go and delete this if I want to. Of course, I cannot delete the only one, I guess. So here we have, it's an artboard, just like you create the height. Of course, it's going to be a website, so it could be anything. I want a black site, so I'm going to make the fill black. Okay, all right. Now you see an option of upgrade now out here. It was bothering me when I started using, because you mentioned it's free. So what is there to upgrade? Well, looks like there are some extra features that you get when you upgrade, right? For example, you can connect your own domain if you pay and get it. Now you wouldn't be able to add your own domain and a few other things, but every functionality works perfectly well in the free version. I have been trying it out for the last 1 week or so, and I haven't found a single feature that I needed to design which is not available because I'm on the free account, right? So I think we can just ignore that for now. Of course, if you want some of these features, you can go ahead and upgrade. So here we are on the frame. Now for the website, I've actually done a bit of planning, which is something like this. So this is a structure. So all that my friend Tanish gave me was a PDF. That was his pitch doc. I put that PDF on ChatGPT and said that, hey, I want to make a website of this. Show me what content can I put. So ChatGPT gave me a lot of content. I filtered a few things out, and this is what I kind of narrowed down, right? It starts with a hero section which says creators that move needle. By needle, I mean it's matrix and all of that, because it's a creator, influencer, marketing, management, creator management agency is what we are talking about. And this is a small note about what 4am does, and these are 4 of the particular verticals of work that they do. Our notable work is nothing but the place where 1 or 2 collaborations, say 4am worked with, say, maybe Google or Facebook or someone, so they would have some of those case studies present, followed by a get in touch. As simple as that, right? So we need a desktop version, and we'll of course need a mobile version, because we are in 2025 and most of the people in India access internet using mobile phones. We will make the responsive everything here with just a few adjustments. Okay, so first things first, we need a tab bar at the top, right? So let's go ahead and make it very simple. I'll keep the logo on the left side, and I will keep 3 tabs on the right side, which is for these 3 sections, which is what we do, our work, what we do, which is about us, our notable work, which is work, and get in touch is nothing but contact. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, the beautiful part about Framer is, just like Figma, you can copy and paste stuff from other places. So you can right-click, copy an image from internet, and then paste it directly on Figma without any worry at all, right? So first thing that I'm going to put out there is the logo of 4am Media itself, right? All that I've done is, this is the image, and if you want to see what is happening in the layers, if you are in the pages mode, you will just see the pages because this is a page. If you go to the layers mode, you will start seeing the layers just like you see on Figma. And this is where you work, and this is where the controls are. Pretty standard these days, right? So here we are. I have the logo here at the top. So here what you see, the first one is a frame which says a rectangle, and this one is a split square or a split rectangle. It means that this is actually an auto layout. Now they don't call it auto layout, they simply call it layout, right? So when you select this, you will see that this is actually a layout. It's a stack, and it's a horizontal direction. It could even be vertical direction if you want to, like, auto layout vertical or auto layout horizontal. So that's how it works, right? So right now it is just put inside this one auto layout. It need not have been an auto layout because a simple frame was enough to standardize the size. And the height right now is, I've set it to fixed 64 pixels, and width I just said that fit content, meaning the height will always be 64, and whatever the length of the logo is, based on that the width will kind of adjust, right? So I'm going to keep this somewhere here, right? And then I will just add some text. So about was one of that. It is I'll make it white, and I'll change the font. Now I'm going to make it Saptarshi. I'm going to use this free font. It's a great font. If you haven't used, go ahead and use it. The size, I'm going to make it 14. Okay, how about 16? Let's keep it 16. And I'm using Saptarshi regular in this one. So this is about, and then I'll make a copy of it. See, I'm just using Option and Shift, and I'm dragging. That's how you copy and paste on Figma, isn't it? So you do the same thing in Framer as well. So here I'm going to put work, right? Notable work and all is going to be the header of the section. For the tabs, I'm just using simpler words like about, work, and contact. Okay, so here we have the 3 tabs that we have out here. Now I will add an auto layout to these 3 things, right? One simple way to do it is, when you have all these 3 selected, press Option, Command, and Enter. Alternately, you can also right click and add a stack. A stack is nothing but the layout, the auto layout, right? And the keyboard shortcut is Option, Command, and Enter. So that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, keyboard shortcuts. So Option, Command, and Enter. And when I do, one stack got added. Okay, the stack got added. Now there are certain settings because of which it's looking like this. We will fix that right away, right? So this is my stack and I'm going to call it top nav items. Okay, and items. And I'm going to give it a height. And if I come out here, you would see the height is set to fit, as in fit content. Whatever the content's height is, just take that. I'm going to make it fixed and I'm going to call it 64. So 64 is the height, which is nothing but the height that I'm planning for the sticky top nav bar that we are going to have. And for the width, it is set to relative 100%, meaning occupy 100% width of the screen. I don't want that. I'm going to call it fit content, right? So that it just fits the content. I don't want it bigger. Maybe I'll add some paddings and stuff, but that's about it. And now if you see in the layout section, you have all these controls that you see on auto layout mostly. Align. Inside this, wherever you want it to align. Top, center, bottom. Of course, I want it center. And gap. Gap is nothing but the space between two elements. It's set to 10 right now. I think I'll make it 20. I'll make it, how about 24? Yeah, I'll make it 24. And I think this is good enough. I quite like this. So I'm going to bring it here, right? And this would be on the right side. Okay, so I have two things here. One logo, I have put one container or an auto layout to it and set the height to 64. And even for this tabs, I've set the height to 64, right? And now I'll select both of these and add one more auto layout to it. Or, I can click here or I can press Option, Command, and Enter. And I have another auto layout which is set out there, right? Perfect. I think we have it here. And in this, I'm going to do a few things, right? Now, since this is a stack, this is I'm going to call it top nav bar. Okay, this top nav bar, I will later make it into a component because, for mobile version, I'll make a different style of it. So here we have the top nav bar. The width is 100% relative. I'm going to let that be right now. It's okay. And then as we come to this section, which is layout, you have this option called distribute. Now, distribute is set to center, meaning all the contents, bring them to center and add this gap, whatever we had added, right? 10. I can increase this gap if I want to and, increase it up to a extent so that the logo and the tabs go to the other end. But we have some more sophisticated way of doing this, which is distribute. Instead of center, just set it to space between. So what it does is it just sends everything to the end, to the extreme ends and adds space, whatever space it is in between. I think this is much better for our use case if I look at it. And we can always add some padding on the left and the right if we need to, and then it'll start working. Either ways, I will add a maximum height to some of these things. We'll get to that later. Okay. So first, this is our frame. Okay, why is the name changed to? I'll just call it home. Okay. So here we have it. And we will adjust, we'll fine tune it more later. Now let's go ahead and make the hero section itself, which is creators that move needle. All that I want is a huge text at the top. Now here's, what I've learned over the years. For good looking web pages, if you're really worried how to make something good looking, if you don't have a lot of images and all of that, play typography. Use great fonts, chunky, big sizes. Your website will instantly start looking good. If you don't believe me, go to Pinterest, go to Dribbble, check out all the website designs that you have out there. Most of them, you will see this pattern. They have really nice typography. I would say for a landing page like this, typography is half the job. You should do the right good job at typography. Okay, so here's what we'll do as well. So let me grab the text tool once again, and I'm going to type this one, creators that move needle. Okay, and I'm also going to add a dot. Now that is a thing that I'm going to use because you see the 4 a.m. media. Well, the story behind 4 a.m. is, people stay awake till 4 a.m. That's when they're the peak of their creativity. The day starts, or rather does it end? So it's like 4 a.m. the clock thing. That's why you see this colon. So 4 a.m. media, right? So that's the idea. So that's why I'm going to use this dot as the design element as well. So you will see these orange dots in between, the rest of the things. So I'm also going to do the same. This is going to be that white or that cream color, whatever we have on the logo. And these dots, these accents would be in orange, the orange that I'm going to pick. Okay, so this is what we plan to do. Here's we have the text. I'll put it inside more layouts, but for now, first let me just set the font size, right? So it is Saptarshi. Yes, that's what I want. I'll make it bold and I'll make it really large. Let's try 100. Okay, all right, 100 is probably a little too much, so let me see if I can make it 80. 80 should be good. And we also need the subtext, which is we plan and produce and measure influencer campaign that drives outcomes. Okay, so I'm just going to make a copy of this and I will paste the other one, which is this text. We plan and produce. It needs to be inside this frame. But of course, this will be much smaller. This is going to be my subtitle. So I'll make it 20 and maybe I'll make it regular. Yeah, I'll make it regular. Or maybe 24. We will play around with that and see. But I don't want it like this. I don't want a header and a subheader one after another. I've seen most of the modern sites these days. They have like a huge typography, the header on the left side, and they have a relatively smaller subtext on the right side with the button. And this layout, this distributed layout works only when you have some graphical element right below it. That's what I want to do today because, I think that strikes the right balance between making it look good and modern and at the same time keep it professional. It's also not overly playful because, this is after all an agency, so that's how we want it. So here we have it, and this header and subheader. So I'm going to add one more layout to it, stack. I'll just call it hero text section is probably for the whole. Okay, so there we have it, and by default it kind of center aligned it. I don't want it to be center aligned. I want these to be left aligned. So first of all, let's see. The text are all left aligned. The layout here will make it left aligned. And like I mentioned, I want the subtext to be on the right hand side. So that's what we will do. So I don't want vertical layout, but I want a horizontal layout, something like this. Now this looks weird because things kind of got cut. We will fix that right now, right? First things first. So we'll just take this text and let's fix the width. Now the width is set to fit content. We'll make it fill. We'll make it fill. The moment we do fill, it kind of fills in with whatever space it has. We'll do something similar for this as well, which is this one. We'll also call it fill to begin with, but this is not how we want it, right? So we need more control here. And this is where I will need one button. So let me just go ahead and make a button, right? So I'll need a frame, something like this. And I'll give it a height of around maybe 56, okay? I don't want to fill, or rather I will give it a black fill so that, it's easier for me to click it. And the way you add a stroke is this border. You click on the border and you get to choose a color. I'm going to pick white with reduced opacity, maybe 20%. I'm going to make it fully rounded. So if it is 56 is the height, to make it fully rounded pill, the radius needs to be at least 28, which is half of 56. So that's how it is. So this is the frame that I have. And inside it, of course, I'm going to have my text. And I'll call it get in touch. Yeah, let's call it get in touch. Okay, so there we have it. This is our button. I'll call it contact CTA. Contact CTA. This is my button. So this is inside hero text. Now we have three things, which is creators that move needle, this get in touch button, and this subtext. Of course, we'll do this alignments and all later. Don't worry about it. But right now, I want this button to come under this subtext. So, which means I will grab this contact CTA and we plan and produce this text and add another layout to it. And this one is going to be a vertical direction, which is this. And of course, I want the text to be above and the button to be below, right? Yeah, something like this, but not quite there. We will fix a few things right now here, right? I would want this to be in smaller fonts towards the right side and this header text towards the left side. And one easy way to do that, we have done it on the top as well, is to create this entire hero text section and set the distribute to space between. Right? Now we have done it space between, and now this, whatever stack that I have, I can actually go ahead and set width of it, right? So I'm just going to call it fixed and I will reduce the width of it to something which probably makes more sense for this use case. Okay, I'll see. I'll adjust the sizes of it. So the idea is this space, this is going to be in two, lines. Maybe I'll just add a breakpoint here, or maybe I will reduce it later. So the space that is occupied by two lines of this giant text, the same vertical space, I would want this text and this button to occupy, so that this one and this one are kind of visually aligned. That's what I'm looking for, right? So which means I'll play around with the size of the text. I'll make it around 24. Line height is set to 1.2 times, which is okay. To drive outcomes, I'll add a dot out here. And this one, I'll just make it not fixed but fill, so that it takes up the entire space of this. Okay. And I think this is fine. So these are also inside another layout, so we will make it bottom so that this kind of aligns with that, right? I also feel we can increase the padding between these two, right? It's set to 10. What if I make it 16? Yeah, here we are, right? So, and also I feel this text, instead of using perfect white, why don't I use the same color which is there on the logo, which is not white, if by looks of it just get me. I'll just go pick this color. Yes, it's a different sort of color. It is FBF7E4. That's what the color is. So let's go ahead and use that. And I will use the same color for this as well, right? So this, I can actually go ahead and save this color. Can I not? Yes. So I'll just call it a new style. Now I use the same color for the subtext as well. Instead of pure white, I'm just going to use the picker and I'm going to use this color, right? And of course, I may want to reduce the opacity of this a bit. And also when I look at it, I feel the line height can be a little more. So this one is 1.2 right now. What if we make it 1.3? It takes up a little more space, a little more free, and also fits much better than how it was, right? I think this kind of works. Okay, this kind of works, I feel. Although I want this move to come to the other side. So let's see if we can fix it in some other way. For example, the entire website, I wanted to have a padding of around 56 pixels, right? Because you can keep seeing preview. If you just click on this button out here, if you click on preview, it starts showing you the preview. And if I do a full screen, it shows how your website would be. This is not how I want it. I would want to have some padding. And also, if I put it in a very large monitor, I wouldn't want it to spread all the way. I want to add a maximum width of the website as well. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to give some padding on left and the right, so that no matter what I put inside, that constant padding kind of remains, right? So that it doesn't touch the edges. So here we are, and this is where you add the padding. So this is the desktop, and in this desktop, one after another, things will keep stacking, different sections. So I'll make different sections and I'll keep putting inside. So essentially, this ends up being a section which is also an auto layout, just like we have on Figma. So I'm going to make this home, the entire page, also a layout, right? So this layout, I'll just click on it and the same layout grid kind of opens up. So by default, it added a vertical thing. So I think this works, right? And I will add more padding and all of that later. But for now, I think this is good enough. And the height of it is set to fixed 933 right now. We'll change that as well. We'll make it fit content because I want it to be as big as the content of my website, not more. But before that, let us do one more thing, which is to add a graphic here. Now this graphic, I'll figure out what exactly I want out here, but let's first go ahead and make a frame. Okay, so this is the frame that I have, right? So if I inside home, I have a top nav bar, which is of course a different thing. Then I have a hero text, then I have another frame. I'm going to call this as hero graphic, and we're going to put stuff inside it later. Okay, now this hero graphic, I'm going to set the width as relative and I'll set it to 100%. And the height, I'm going to set it fixed around 400. And of course, I'll give it a radius of around 20 pixels. You can just set it out here. And this is where we have, and I'm going to fill it up with something later, not right away. So for now, I'm just going to give it a gray color so that it doesn't distract me. And now that I have this hero graphic and hero text, these two sections put together is nothing but my hero section. So what I'll do is I'll select these two and I'll add one more layout, which is Option, Command and Enter. And I have another vertical stack out here, right? This is nothing but my section hero, right? So my first section is is kind of done. Although I have one more thing in mind, let us add that as well. So here we are. Now in this one, now let us do a couple of things to this. First things first, we need some padding at the top of this, right? So this is our text. This is our hero section. Inside this, we have hero text. Above hero text, I need some padding. I don't want it to be touching the top nav. So this is how you add padding. So when you select this hero text and you come to layout, in layout, you have this option called padding. Now, if you go and start adding padding here, it will add it in all the sites, but you can split open the different sites, right? This is like equal all the sites, or you can split it open. That's what I'm going to do because I want it only at the top for now, not anywhere else, right? So here I split it open and you will see it has ERBNL, which is nothing but top, right, bottom, and left. I want it at the top. Now let's start with around 40, maybe more. What if we add 60, 80? Let's start with 100. We'll see, we'll increase or decrease later. Let's quickly see a preview. Okay, this is how we have it. Remember I was talking about the padding? Let's go ahead and add that now, right? So I'll hit escape, and the padding that I was talking about, we can add it to the entire home, right? Here we have the padding, and the paddings appear only when you have a layout. If you just have a frame, you'd probably not see the padding option. So our home is a layout, remember, because I said that all these things will keep getting stacked. So here, let me just add this split open, and I want only left and right. Let me add 56. This is the minimum padding I want in a desktop. So right is 56 and left is also 56. So here we have it. Now if I go and see a preview, you see I have this padding. No matter how big the screen is, I have a padding. But this is also not ideal. Right now I'm seeing on the screen of my MacBook Pro and the screen is okay. But imagine if I'm seeing this on a huge monitor, like a 4K monitor that I have out here, then it is going to stretch so much and I don't want it that way. That's where we will set a maximum height to it, right? And that maximum height will add it to the section, which is the section hero, right? If you come here on the size, you will see you have the width, which is fill, and the height is set to fit contents, and you have an option to add minimum and maximum. So you can click here and I can add a max width, and the max width I will set it to fixed 1100 pixels, right? So which means it's going to grow till 1100 pixels, and once it hits 1100 pixels, as you see here, it is not going to grow further because that's the comfortable space where you can read. So our website is never going to get wider than this, right? And at the top, of course, we see that it's kind of stretching. We'll see how we'll handle that part later, okay? And now that I see this section, the hero section, I also see the need to have more padding here. This button feels almost touching the bottom. So instead of 10, I'll make it 24, right? 24 looks good. And also here, I can adjust the size of this section, this box, so that it occupies a little more space. That may move is going to come down with needle. And to do that, there is one simple way of doing it, is just adding another layout to it. Command Option Enter, and I have this stack out there. Although I'm not going to have any second thing inside, but once I do this, I have an option to add padding. So to this stack, which is nothing but hero text, and this is hero text maybe group. So in this hero text, I can go and add a right padding however I want. Maybe if I add around 40 of it, and this is the 40 pixels padding that I have out here, it just creates the differentiation that I needed out here, and it also cleans up the layout, just like the way I want it. Creators that move needle and all, right? And I think that's it. The first section looks good, although I want to make one small thing out here. You see, when things are rounded, this button is fully rounded, even though they are aligned, it will feel like this text block is little more to the left of this button. It's simply because how the shapes of these things are. And to fix that, the easy way is just add some extra padding to these things, right? This is called optical balancing. And to do that, to this also, I will add another layout, and doesn't matter which direction it is because all we care about is the padding. So we come here and we just add some left and right padding, maybe around 8 or 8. And see, the moment I do, even though there is an extra 8 pixels padding, since this is rounded, now it starts feeling like it's better aligned. Okay, so I'll just keep it like this, and we'll get back to it later. And also, like I mentioned, this dot, I want it to be orange, and this orange I can pick from the color that we have on the logo, but I somehow feel that orange is a little too dull. And for a website like this, a brighter orange will make a lot more sense. So, instead of this orange logo, the logo orange, I'm going to use a different color, a slightly brighter orange, which is, you see, is a more saturated version of the same. Now, Tanish might hate me for doing this, but let's try it regardless. And also when I look at this text, I feel the line height is a little too much. Maybe, for this one, since it's a huge text, it doesn't need to be this much. What if we make it just 1? Is it? Okay, maybe how about 1.1? Let's make it 1.1. I think this is good. And also the character spacing. What if we make the character spacing minus 0.5? Oops, it's too much. 0.05. Minus 0.05. Yeah. So this is something that, you have to be a little mindful about, because in Figma, the units we use are pixels for some of these. Here you would see they use decimals. So, minus 0.05 is enough. Something that might have to be minus 0.5 pixels, because the unit out here is not pixels but EM. If you change it to pixels, of course, then you do it like Figma, but I haven't changed, at least for now. And now that we have done this, we have made it tighter. We need to add more padding to this, the right padding. Let's just go ahead and do that, which is this hero text. Instead of 40, I'm going to make it around, let's keep it 100, because that's where it's kind of falling. So yeah, it already started looking good. Okay, so we'll get back to this. Now there's one more thing that I would want to do, is to have a row of logos here. Okay, now I've already prepared some logos. I've collected them from internet. These are nothing but white logos on transparent background that I have gathered from the internet, and I have put them in a layout inside, right? So the reason I put them inside a layout, because I wanted to optically size them, meaning, see, the logos will never be of same size. Their names will be different. For example, Gamma is a big word. Odoo is a smaller word. The logos of HP and Apple are like 1:1, right? So you need to do an optical balancing. If you do a geometrical balancing that, hey, all logos should be 48 pixels tall, you are not going to get a good looking one. Some logos like Logitech, which are long, will end up looking too small, and some logos which are smaller text like Odoo or even HP, they will end up looking very small, right? So that's why I have done an optical sizing, meaning I looked into it and I analyzed, okay, this is how big the HP logo should be. All of these have different dimensions, right? So simple way is just add another auto layout and add them one after another. But here's where we need a bit of functionality. The functionality that we need is, I want it to be constantly scrolling, a continuous scroll. And for that, this is where I'm going to use one of the existing things that Framer already has. So I'll click on insert, and I have this place called interactive. And inside interactive, you'll see a couple of things that you get. I'm going to use this thing called ticker. Okay, so I'll use this ticker, and this will get inserted somewhere. There it is, right? And we will use it in the hero section, right? One more thing we're going to add to the hero section. Okay, so here we have this hero section. Inside that, I will add one more frame. Oops, and put it inside the hero section that we have. This is the frame. Actually, I want it to be an auto layout, which is, I'll add a layout and a horizontal one. And this layout will have a fill of relative of 100%, and height, we wanted a fixed height, right? We wanted fixed height, so around 100 or 110 should be good. So let's try 100, and this is our stack. Now inside this stack, I'm going to insert this sticker. Okay, so I'll insert this sticker inside our stack. And now to the ticker, we'll do a few things. The width is not fixed, but we'll make it 100% so that it flows all the way. And height also, we'll call it fixed, and we'll have it 100% so that it exactly fits within the auto layout that we have just made, right? Now, this is a pre-made component. If you click on this ticker, which is a component already, and if I come here, this is the properties of ticker, right? And it says it has 0 items in children. Now, children is nothing but the things which goes inside, which are nothing but these logos. Now, for an input, if you would have simply put the images, it wouldn't accept, because it doesn't recognize images to go inside the sticker at least, but it recognizes these frames or these auto layouts that I have added. So, the moment I click on 0 items and click on add, a drop down appears with all these things. Since I've kept them here, they're appearing. If I delete them, they will not appear, right? So I'll just keep adding one after another. So, the Adobe logo, Logitech logo, Apple logo, and so on. Okay, we have added them, but it is not seen. I think it's probably because it has a fill. This tag has a fill, so I'm just going to remove this fill from here and we start seeing these logos. I think it should also start working. Let's see. Yep. You see, the moment I preview it right now, and these are all connected. You know, when I click on this, you see it has formed some sort of connection. It has gone inside. It's like a ready-made component that I'm using, but there are some things that you can do to this. For example, I can control the speed of this, right? So when I click on the sticker now, see, there's a speed which is set to 100%. I just felt that it was a little too fast. I'll make it 50%. And, you know, I can also decide the gap, padding, and all of that. Right, so at a gap, I'll make it 20. I think I need a little more padding, would make it look good. Let's take a look at once again. Yeah, I think this is the pace that I like. You know, this is coming out really well. I think the top section is almost done except this graphic. We'll get back there. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and make the next section. So the next section is what we do. So it has a section header called what we do, and it has a subtext where, you know, a few things are written about what 4am Media does, right? So since we have the section, right? So this is our homepage. And these are the logos which are outside. Just, you know, ignore them for now. This is just so that our ticker keeps running. This is our page. We have the top nav at the top, which is nothing but this. And then we have the section hero, which is this. Now I'll duplicate. I'll click on this and I'll hit Command D. And the moment I do, I have another section. You're not able to see that right now because this home has the height set to fixed. We'll change that to fit content so that, you know, you see what is happening. So if you see, since I duplicated the exact same thing, I see the exact same thing twice, right? But of course, this is not how we want it. Now we are going to go and make some changes, right? Now in this section, we'll reuse some of these things to get our job done, okay? So first things first, hero text. Yes, we need one, but this is not going to be hero, but just the text section. We need a header and a subheader here. Let's just go ahead and change. It says what we do. Oops. What we do. And then we need a subtext underneath this one, right? And we know that this is already an auto layout. It's left and right auto layout. I'm just going to make it vertical auto layout like this. And this text that we had, I'm just going to copy this text and bring it inside here, right? Because this is the format that I'm looking at. Like the hero section is done, the vertical thing that we did. Here, I want it a little more traditional way. And I don't need the other thing. I don't need this thing at all. So I'm just going to delete this tag for this one, right? So here we have, and this text is going to be this. So I will just go ahead and paste this text here, right? The only thing is we don't want that big a text, right? So we want smaller text because this is the hero header text. This is maybe, you know, H2 or something. You know, that's also a good idea to go and save some of the styles. So this one is our title, right? So styles, inside text, you have this got styles. You can save them just like you do on Figma. So I'll click on this and I'll make a new style. And some labels are already created. I'll just call it H1, right? So this is H1. So now if I go and make some changes to H1, it will start reflecting wherever I have used. And this one, let us make it smaller and then we'll save it as H2, right? So I don't need it to be 80. How about 56? I think 56 looks good, right? We'll change it later if we need to. I'm going to save this style as heading 2 because, you know, I'll be using the same for other sections that we build as well. Now it's also a good idea, I feel, to go and change this. This was subtext, and I think I'm going to call this one as body text, right? So body for desktop can be 24. Should it be? Or should I just call it subtext? You know, I'll just save it as subtext. You know, this one are the same style. So I'm going to save this and create a new style. I don't have one which says subtext. Can I not make custom styles here? What if? Okay, I cannot make subtext. I cannot make a new style. So it has to be one of these things that I pick, right? So I have paragraph, I have heading 6. Let me call it heading 6 maybe. Let me save it as heading 6 because, you know, this is a smaller subtext. So I'll save it as heading 6. And there we have. And now that I look at it, I feel this heading 6 can have some opacity. Now this doesn't need to have solid color. What if we make it 60% opacity, right? Yeah, I think this is. So, you know, we saved it. And this one, now all that I need to do is just go apply heading 6 to it. And the same style kind of gets carried forward. So this is convenient. I think this is good. Yeah, I think this is fine. This one also we can set it to width as you know, fill, and now these things, you know, this text we can set the width to you know, relative and set it to 100%. and the width is set to fill. Okay, we have this. Now underneath this, I want 4 sections with these: influencer marketing, personal branding, campaign strategy, and PR brand strategy. Now for this, I've actually generated 4 images using ChatGPT. So what I did was I searched for illustration styles on Pinterest, and there was a particular style that I liked. I fed that to ChatGPT and said that, okay, I'll be using this thread to generate spot illustrations and understand the style is what I said. And after that, it just went ahead. I just told it, okay, make one for influencer, make one for personal branding. It made some of these things. It needed very little trial and error. So these are the images that it has made, right? Now, what I want in this section is I want each image one after another with the text underneath it. So that's what I want right now. Okay. So let's reuse this hero graphic section and make it, right? So this hero graphic that we had, we will just rename it and it'll start working. There was one extra layer. I just deleted it. I'll just call it section heading. And after section heading, we have this hero graphic. We will change the name of this into something else. Let's add another. I'll make it a layout, a vertical layout like this, right? So this hero graphic is now a vertical layout. So I'm going to call it service. Okay. And inside this service, I'm just going to add these image. First, I'll add this image and then I will add a text. Okay. Maybe I'll make a copy of this text and just have it inside. Okay. I'll just have this one and I'll call it, what were the texts that we had? Influencer marketing. Yeah, it looks weird, but we'll fix that right away. And first things first, I think this is not the style that we are looking at because it's set to heading 6. That's not what we want. Maybe we'll save a new style out here. I need this to be 100% and I need to be thicker, medium, and 24, maybe 24 is fine. Or 20. Okay, let's keep it 24 for now. We will change it later if we need to. Okay, so I'll make it center aligned and I will save it as a new style. I'll save it as heading 5 maybe. Okay, so there we have. And now, if you see, this is an auto layout where we have added a few things, right? Which is width was 100%. I'll set the width to fit content. Okay, and I will set the height to fit content. Yes. So if you see, this is a service. This is one single service. I'm going to make 4 copies of that. But before that, let us trim these unwanted spaces. It's because, we had given it some fixed height and all of that before. So this service had a fixed height of 400. We don't want it. We'll just call it fit content, whatever the content is. And then we can add padding and all in between if you want to. And width also it is set to 100%, right? So width, I would think I will just make it fill. You'll know in a while why fill will make more sense because we'll add more things here, right? So this is service. We don't need a rounded corner here. I'll just get away with that. And this is one service, right? Now I'll make one more service. Okay. And with this 2 service, I'm just going to add one more auto layout, command option and return. And this is going to be a horizontal one like this, right? And now if I keep duplicating, I'll keep having other things, I wanted 4. So there I have 4. Now you still see this gray thing. It's because, things are going to spread based on size of the screen. To fix that, just remove the fill which this had, right? I don't want to fill. There we have it, the 4 sections. Now all I need to do is just change these images inside, right? So this is for personal branding. I'll just copy and bring it here. And I have personal branding. And this is nothing but this is for campaign strategy. I'm just going to select this and I'll bring here and click. We'll just change the images right now. So I'll click on personal. I'll select this copy personal branding and inside this section, which is service, I'll paste it and I will delete the older one. And of course the image needs to be at the top. So I will just change it, right? And for all of this, now all I need to do is just change these images. Now this image is for personal branding. I will copy this. I will go inside this service and I will paste and I will delete the older one and I'll change the order. Likewise, I'll just go and replace the assets for the remaining as well. Okay, there we have replaced all the assets and this section feels like we are done. And of course, I don't need a ticker here. I'm just going to delete this entire stack which had my ticker. So there we have it. The second section is ready. And this section, of course, will change the name of this one. The first one is section hero. This one is section about. Okay, this section about. And now we are going to add some padding to this entire section, right? Because, it's almost touching. So here we come to the padding. We don't need left and right now. So we'll just split it open, crop and bottom. Let's try 40 and 40. We'll need more. Let's add a little more. How about we add 80? Bottom we might need a little more, but I will just settle with 80 and 80 for now. And the second section is done. Let's just quickly go and see a preview. We have our hero section. Graphic will make it. We have this ticker scrolling with all the logos. And then we have a section which says what we do. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and make the next section, which is our notable work. Now our notable work is nothing but, 3 case studies that I want to have. Now each case study will have an image, a header, subheader, one small section which shows stats. Now stats in case of social media marketing is how many creators participated in it, how many views did you generate, and which platforms where it was the campaign live, right? And a button to read the whole case study. Just like you do in your design case study, similar thing happens in this industry as well. So let's create this section for case studies, which is nothing but our notable work, right? So I'll begin by the same thing. I'll just make a copy of this section about, and I'm just going to call it section work. Okay, now a couple of things are going to be same. For example, the section heading part, we don't need to change it. Maybe we don't need a subtext, right? Maybe we'll just change the text to our notable work, and it doesn't need a subtext. So, I will not delete it. So this subtext, I will just turn it off because I don't need it. If I need it, I'll just turn it on later. So when you click on this subtext, and if you just come here, visible, it says style, visible is set to yes. If you make it no, it'll just not be visible. So it makes it much more convenient to turn on, turn off something, right? Something that you could do by, that eye icon that you have on Figma. This is the eye icon equivalent of that. And this heading, I'll just see, is this set to heading 2? Yes. This is also set to heading 2. These are all fine. Now let's go ahead and make the case studies section. Perfect. First things first, I'll make 3 case studies. So, what we have out here, we can perhaps reuse some of these. This tag that we have, the search services, so I'll just call it services strip or something, right? And this one, I'm just going to call it case study strip. Okay, and there are 4 things inside. I will delete 3 of them because I'll make edit to one of them and then kind of replicate that, and I'll call it case study. This is one single case study. Now here we don't want it to be top and bottom. I want it to be left and right in this case, right? So first things, I'll just change the layout from vertical to horizontal. Okay, so this is how it is, and I'll see something is not right here, and the width is set to me. Let's make it relative, or let's make it fill actually, and this one's also will make it fill. What is wrong here? We'll see what is wrong here. So the influencer marketing, this is set to very long. So we'll just make it smaller. So horizontal is what we want, but we want much bigger imagery here. Okay. So I'm just going to add one more cover, one more frame to it. And in this frame, I'm just going to give it a color. Maybe, the same gray color that we have picked. This will be the placeholder. And this, I want it to have a particular dimension, meaning, I want it to be a particular constant size. And the right side, also we want a header subheader sort of construct. So this thing that we have out here, right, the section heading, I'm going to copy this and bring it inside because I'm just reusing that. Okay, so inside case study, I bring it here, and now actually I can get away with this thing. So we have the basic structure kind of in place. We just need to change the sizes and all. So if you remember, this was H2. We don't need an H2 right now. We need an H3. But before that, let us make the style itself, right? So the size can be 32, I feel, or maybe 36. Yeah, 36 is good. And instead of bold, let's make it medium. And this will be body text. So far, we have been using other smaller things. So far we have been using subtext, which was 24, but I want to make it 20, right? So I'll get away from heading 6. I'll make it 20. And I think the rest of the colors look fine. So I'm just going to go to styles and create a new style and make it body or paragraph. Okay, so this is our paragraph text. Now in this, we need a few more elements as well. I want another section, which is like a vertical thing, where I have a label and a number, which talks about the things that we make. So let's quickly go ahead and build that. Now, if you look at it, that's also a mix of, I'm just going to call it text. I'm going to call this section case study heading. Okay. And after this case study heading, we need the other one, which is our stats. So this thing, I'm just going to hold both of them and add another auto layout to it and make it vertical. So this is how we have it. This is our heading and subheading that is in place. Now here, we want to make some changes. I want this to go at the top and this to come at the bottom. These are going to be my heading. This is going to be my number. Let's quickly show and you will know what I'm trying to say. So I'll call it creator, and I'm going to call this maybe 12 creators at work on it. It's an agency after all, right? So here we have it. So this is right now. Oh, we had not saved heading 3, so I will just save it as heading 3, and I will reduce the size of this, and I'm just going to call it heading 4. I'll make it 28, and I'll make it bold, and I'm going to call it add new style heading 4, right? So there we have it, and in between this there is a padding of, and these are stat, and in this there's a gap of 10. I'm going to make that 0 or perhaps around 4, and I will just reduce these to change the grow thing to single line like this. Okay, but this is not how I want it. I want them to be left aligned, and I want multiple variants of this. This is one stat. I need multiple stats. So I'll make a copy, 3 copies of this, and I will select all these 3 stats and add another auto layout, which is option command and enter. And this one is going to be a horizontal one again, right? You see what we are getting towards? Yes, this is what I wanted. Okay. Now, only thing is I don't want them so wide. I want some separators in between, but largely this is what we want. So each of this stat, now that we have them individually, I'll select all of them and I will set the width to fit content. And the moment I do, you see that, we have some things in place out here. And each of these, since we had copied and pasted, they have a right padding of around 100. So I'm just going to make that 0. So this is how it narrows down to. So this is our stack strip. And I want all of these to be at the left. And to do that, I'll go to distribute and make them start. Okay, now we have on the left hand side, and now I also want to make a few more changes to it. And the stack strip, I'm going to set the width to fit content so that we have it like this, and the entire larger thing will make it left aligned so that this comes to the left like this. Okay, a lot of adjustments has gone into making this. Now let's go ahead and quickly make it look a little better. So the stack strip, we will add some padding around it, maybe around 20 dp of padding that we have. We'll adjust it later if you want to. I will add a border. The border would be white with around 10% opacity, and I will also add a radius of around 20 pixels. Okay, so here we have it. Now we'll make some more adjustments. I don't think 20 uniform around it is making sense, so we'll make some changes here, right? So maybe. Now, I think the padding, consistent padding of 20 around is not making sense. So we will individually split it out, right? Top, I definitely feel we can reduce a bit. Maybe around 12 or 14 is good. 12, I think is good. Or maybe 14. And left and right, let it remain like this because we are planning to introduce a few more things inside it. So first one is creator. The second one is views. And the third one is platform. And now we will add more padding in between these, and now we will add some separators here. And to do that, I will use path. This path is nothing but I can create it, and to do that I will use a rectangle, which is nothing but it's a vector tool. So I can go and create a rectangle and bring it inside, and I'm going to set the width of this rectangle to 1 pixels and the height to be around 56 or so, right? Yeah, 56 or something like that. And now this rectangle, I'm going to repeat it across a few places as separator. So this rectangle, I'm just going to make it white with around 10% opacity. And this rectangle will bring one here, make a copy of it and bring another one here, right? Now we have a separator, and now we will add individual right padding to each one of these, right? So I will select them and I will add a right, and I'll select them and I will add a right padding to each one of these around maybe 20. 20 feels good. And now it also makes me feel that I think we should reduce some of the bottom. I think top and bottom, let's just make it 16 and make peace with it. Yeah, I think this looks fine. This looks fine. It would also increase the padding to around 16. Yeah. There we have it. I think we have this stats section pretty well. It's coming out well. Now I need one more button here which says read case study. So I will copy this button, this entire frame that we had, and I will paste it inside this same thing. So now we have this. And now we have this, and we don't want it to be fully thing. I'll just make it fill content, and it goes to the right, and read case study is the label, and we will add some left and right padding to it, right? So around 20 on the right and around 20 on the left, maybe 24. This is the button that we have. I'll add an icon and stuff later, but I think this works well for now. Let's go and check the right side, what all we have here. So this entire section is the section for case studies. This is the case study strip. So there we have it. We have the top nav at the top, the section hero, section about, section work. And inside section work, we have the section heading, which is this. We also have an option to add a subheading if you want to. Then we have a case study strip. This is an individual case study. And inside that, we can organize things a little more. This is the image. So let us set the values. Maybe I will set a relative around 50% as the width, and height I will fix it to around 440. That way we have something like this. And here the padding between them is 10. I'll make it to around maybe 32. I think this looks pretty good here. And this one I'll add some corner radius, maybe 20, the consistent 20 that we have been using everywhere. So this is one single case study that we have, right? I do want to make some more changes to this, right? That's my frame. This is my stack. It's like everything is inside this stack. We have the contact, we have we can increase this to around 16. Yeah, I think this is 16. What I can do is this strip can actually go inside the heading part, so that I can have one kind of padding between this and the case study. We can have different, so 16. So so we have lesser padding here and more padding there, right? Now this to look very similar, we will change the colors of this in a bit, but I think the structure is pretty ready. I'll just make it 20. And this looks good. So this is going to be maybe 4 a.m. x Google, in case they had worked with Google, right? So maybe one day they will, if they haven't already. So there we have, this is a case study, and now we will just copy it. So if you see, this is the case study strip. This will be vertical, and this is case study. So here's we have it. This is the case study strip, which has only one case study inside right now, which is this. Now, if I copy this, okay. Now I want the other case studies to come one after another vertically, but this one is set as a horizontal auto layout. I'll change this to vertical. And now if I copy these case studies, you will see it appears one after another. 3 is what I wanted. So in this case study strip, I can increase this gap between each one of them to make it, to have adequate padding between two different case studies, right? So this is our case study section that we just made. And of course, go ahead and modify the copies if you want to. So this is our notable work section. Okay, and of course, there are many other changes that you can make. You can add images, but I'm not going to add any image here because these are usually the thumbnails of the videos or images of things that goes live. But as a part of this video, maybe I will not show how to do this. Now we are left with only one section, which is contacts. So let me just copy this once again. Actually, we just need one section. So section work, I'm just going to copy this. This is going to be section contact. And we need the heading section. And here also, I'm going to reuse one form which they already have. So I'll remove this case study strip and there it goes. And inside section contact, I'll just click on insert and there are different things that you have out here, right? So you could actually pick stuff from here if you want. I'm just going to go to forms, and in form, there is something called form builder. So I will click on form builder and I have a form. Right, this is the form which is like pre-made and I can make adjustments to it. Of course, I'll make them look different, feel different, and change the fields based on what I want. But for now, I'm just going to copy it and put it inside our section contact. Okay, so here's our section. Of course, I will make everything left aligned because that's how our site has been so far. So here we have the section and we'll make a few changes out here, right? Because it already comes with a bit of padding. We don't want it. And this is how it is. And also these styles are already present in a certain way, right? So I want to change them. For example, these are the input fields. They feel too small to me because the height of these are 40. I want them to be at least 56. Okay. And these texts are also not Satoshi, something that we have been using. So I will change that to Satoshi and I'll make it 40 because 12 felt a little too small to me. Similarly, the texts which are inside, right? The texts which are inside, even those, we can change. I will select them. I will change them to Satoshi, something that we have been using, and I will change the font size of this to 16. Or perhaps, what about 18? I think 18 looks good. 18 is fine. And the color also, I'm going to make it white. Okay. There we have it. And also every field that you've seen so far, we have used fully rounded buttons and stuff like that. The button here as well. So going by that style, all these things should also be fully rounded. So let's just go ahead and make that change as well. So radius is not 10, but it has to be at least 28. And now that when I make it rounded, I just feel like having more padding. Okay, so I will just split it open. And on the right, I feel we need. So now that we see, and I will split it open. On the left especially, I feel we need more padding, at least 20. Okay, at least 20 is what I feel we need. And now the same problem that we faced here, right? When you have something rounded and you have a straight text aligning, it just feels like things are not fully aligned. It feels like name is way too much on the left than this one. So to fix that again, we'll have to add padding, and to add a padding, we'll just add this auto layout, and then on the left hand side, we'll add around 8 worth of padding. That should fix it. So I'll just quickly go ahead and do it for all of them. All right, these sections are there. Now, I'll also make them a little bigger because, we want it. This just feels too small for this. So this is our section contact, and this is our section heading, and this is our form. Now, form, I'll see what width. The width is set to fixed 280. We'll make it around 400 for sure. Perhaps a little more. What if we make it 440? Yeah, 440. Let's quickly go and see a preview. Of course, we'll have to change the button as well. Yep, it is. We have the sections, we have all of these recent case studies and all, and these are all fields that are working. Yeah, okay, it has location, we'll fix that. And I also see that the selected state, the accent is blue. We'll change that to orange because that's the color that we have been using, and also this dot color kind of got removed. We'll fix that as well. We are in these fields, these are interactive and these are functioning. Now, if we select all of these, you will see that there is a section called focus. Focus is nothing but when you're clicked and you're typing, and it has some effects added to it. This is where they've added that blue color. So we're going to go and change that. I'll click on this. You see the border, they've said it's a solid blue. So I'll just go and paste are orange. I had copied the hex code already, so this is the focus state of it. Now if you go and see a preview once again, you will see this time this is going to be orange. Yep, the way we want it. And of course we'll fix this as well. And the button, of course we haven't fixed the button yet, but before that, why don't we go and do this? Because when we saved the style, the color kind of got removed, so I'm just going to add the same orange here. I think it adds a lot of character here. Okay, now with the button is a component because button has multiple states. There is a hover state and all of that. So I'll just double click on this and we will just go and edit the button, right? So first of all, these are all the different states of button. First of all, I'm just going to set the height to 56 because that's what I'm doing in everything, and the corner radius to 28 because that's also something that we are doing in every place, right? So sure, and also the textiles because we have used Saptarshi everywhere. So let's just use Saptarshi everywhere. Okay, so these are all Saptarshi, and these two I haven't changed. These two are also inter. I'll just change them to Saptarshi, and these were bold. Let's make them bold. And I think these could be medium. The rest of them could be medium instead of regular. We'll just make them medium. Yeah. Now here on hover, I would want to have the same orange color here as well, right? The fill of the button. So I'm just going to click, this is the hover state, and I'm just going to go to color fill and paste that same orange that we have, so that when you're hovered, you would see that state, and pressed will also have the color, but slightly darker version. So first I'll paste the same orange, then I will darken it a little bit because that's what makes pressed makes more sense. Now I can always go back to this. So this is, we are inside button 2 and all of that. So I'm just going to go to a 4 a.m. site, and this one height will say, this one we have made it 56. Yeah, this is what it is. And let's just go and see a preview once. Okay, all right, there it is. I think these are orange, so the frame is working fine, but I also feel this padding needs to be a little more. So even though geometrically this padding is same, but if you look at it, since there is text and a lot of empty space, it feels like this padding is less, and I'm going to fix that by adding one more auto layout to it and adding some top padding. I always get confused between the padding and the radius because they look exactly same, right? So I'm just going to add some top padding to it. Maybe around 8 pixel is good. So this is visually feels more balanced. Okay. All right. Now that we have all the sections kind of ready, let's go and fix the final few things out here, right? So first things first, this image, I thought of using some imagery out here. But this is a prime real estate. In the future, some of the key campaigns could actually go there because this is the first fold of the image. So for now, I will just keep it as a placeholder, but I will use a good looking thing, which is nothing but a gradient, right? The reason I'm using the gradient because it was taking me a lot of time to come up with the right picture for this. And secondly, if you look at it, this is 4 a.m. media, so which is kind of like, the needle or the hands of a clock. And I've also written the copy here which says creators that move the needle. So this kind of feels like a pointer or a needle. So I thought that this could be that abstract symbolic thing, and of course can have a lot more design as well. But for now, I'm just going to keep it like this, and you can go ahead and tweak the colors of this if you want to. Okay. You can go and tweak the colors of this if you want to. In fact, I will do it a bit, maybe, give it a little more yellowish tinge, and here maybe, go it a little bit brownish and lightish. So you just have, a nice looking abstract thing. That's about it. Okay. Now here, we could do a few other things as well. In this platform, I could put icons as well, which I'm not going to do right now because the video was going to go very long. Otherwise, we are already past 1 hour, I guess. So instead of showing how many platforms, 2 or 3 or something, you could have the icons, Instagram, YouTube, or LinkedIn, and so on. And there we could have it this way. So now let's go ahead and convert this into a website. and make a mobile version of it, right? Now, when I said, remember that, when you have designed, so if you remember, we were in the design mode. So in that design mode, we are doing our homepage, the website is still not made. So now that we have designed and we are at a shape where we feel that, yeah, okay, fine, this is usable. So we'll just go ahead and right click on this and create web page. So once we do a create web page, you see this new page got added here. It looks and feels exactly same. You might be wondering, okay, what really happened when we did this, right? And this is the home, which we don't need. So we'll select this one and make this as the home page, set as home page. So this becomes home, and this is our old home page, the blank page that we had. I'll just go and delete it because we don't want it. This is our home page, right? Let's go and see a preview. Still the same, you see, you have the image at the top, you have this thing which was moving even before. But now that we are in this, it's a website mode, there are more changes that we can make out here. Let's go ahead and do that first, right? First things first, when the page scrolls, I want this thing to stick. So let's go ahead and stick that. And the way to stick that is just select this. Let's go back to layers. This is our top nav bar. We'll just go here and position, instead of relative, let's make it fixed. And once we make it fixed, this is going to stay no matter what we do. And also we are going to see things underneath it. We don't want it. So the simple solution to that is just go and add a fill over it, right? So let's just add that fill here and we are good to go. So yeah, so we'll add a fill and we'll add a black fill so that, even when things go below it, you don't really see it bleeding through it, right? And also, since this is fixed right now, this section has gone underneath the nav bar, so this padding suddenly feels it's reduced. So to balance that, this was 64 pixels tall, we will add another 64 pixels, that is 200 it already had. We'll make it 164 pixels to balance for the section that has gone under that nav. Okay, all right, there we have it. Now next thing, I want these to be functional, about, work, and contact. So when I click on about, I want it to scroll to come to what we do, and on work to notable work and contact and so on, right? So let's go ahead and do that first, right? And doing that is also pretty simple. So this is it. Now we have to do a link. Now when you click on link, so anything can be made into a button here. So these are the features that you see when you're in the website mode. Now we are not in the design mode anymore. In website mode, when you click on link to where, you could just, only page that you have right now is home, which is this page itself. So I can click on home, but where in home? That's where we'll have to define a few points, which is nothing but just the names. Remember we had this sections. So this is called section about, right? So here, if you scroll down, you will see something called scroll section. Here's where we'll click and just give it a name. I'll call it about and hit enter. Similarly, I'll do it for our notable work section. I'm just going to give it a name called work. And for this one, of course, this is going to be get in touch or something like that. So I'm just going to give this contact, which is scroll section. I'm just going to give it a name, contact. Now, when I give these names, you will start seeing those things at the top. Meaning, when I click on about and link to page, I still have one page. So it's in the same page. In home page itself, I want to stay where in home page. Another thing opens up, which is section. Now here, we will see these three names that we have given. Now here, if I go and click about, and now let's just see the functionality of that. If I click on about, it is just scrolling there. I think there was an option that we could fix. So let's just go here. Yeah, new tab. No, I don't want it to open a new tab. Scroll. I want a smooth scroll, right? Now you will see the smooth scroll where it is scrolling. So click on about and it just goes to this. Similarly, we'll do it for all, right? For work also, I want to go to home, but to work section, smooth scroll. Similarly, for contact also, I want to go to home and contact and a smooth scroll. So functionally, now all these sections are okay. I didn't give smooth scroll for the remaining. I'll just go and make them. Not new tab. Sorry, smooth. Yes, not new tab, smooth. Yeah, I was clicking on the wrong things. So yes, these are working. But now we see that there is a weird blue color which has come up because that's a default color of link, right? So now in each of them, you will see there's a style which they have mentioned, which is link. Now this style is already defined. Now I can go and edit that style. I can get away with the color because, whatever the actual color was, that will be the color of my links. But I want the color to change on hover. So here you see there's a thing called hover. So when I click on hover, I can decide what are the things that I want to change. I want to change the color for sure, and I will paste that same orange that we have, right? On hover, I want this to become orange, right? So again, let's go to edit once again. And is there anything that I can do? I can do some decoration. Let's just add an underline. In decoration, you have things like underline or strikeout. I will add an underline to it, and let's give the same color, orange underline. Thickness, let's keep it auto. Offset, I think around 2 pixels down should be good, 2 or 3 pixels. Let's quickly go and see a preview, right? Now, if I click on it, you see that line is appearing. Yeah, I feel it can be a little more. And also these, I feel could be thicker, no? This text, what I had given, I feel they can be a little bigger and thicker. So this is already 16. Let's make it medium. Yeah, I think then it'll look better as tabs. Yeah. And I'll bring those text in that link style. I'm just going to bring this a little more down, right? So underline, and instead of 2, what if we give it 4? Then it'll feel like, it is selected. Yeah, it's a little more down. Sure. Okay. All right. These are working. Fair enough. Now I'll do the same to this as well. Now this, I don't want to do it only for the text, but the entire button. So entire button also, I'm going to do a link to home, and where in home? To the contact section, because get in touch is that. New tab, no. Scroll smooth, yes. And here, we don't really have that link option because this is not a link, but I can still create a hover option here using effects, right? So I'll click on effects and add a hover effect to this entire box, right? You can do a lot of things, scale and all of that. I don't want scale. All that I want is, I want a different scale will be 1. I want this color to become orange when I hover. Okay, yeah, that's all that I want. So let's just go and see. Yes, these hovers are working. This is also working on hover, and I click on it. It takes me back to the same get in touch section. Okay. All right, so I think this is fun. These are pretty much working well, and I can add icons and all of that as well. But let's go ahead and do some fun stuff, right? So which is before we get to the mobile version, which is again, it's just adjustments. When the page loads, I want some animation to happen. I would want these elements to load in an animated form. So let's just do it for this section, this hero text group, right? So this hero text group is very simple again. You find everything inside effects, just like the way we had done the hover. So when you click on effects, see we had hover. Now we also have an option called appear. Like how does it appear, right? So you click on appear and you have this window open up. Here, I want it slide in from bottom, right? I want it to slide in from bottom when it appears. And there's an effect as well, like what kind of effect is it? You could select all this effect. It has a transition or spring. I don't want a spring. I think I'll just make it ease in and ease out, and you could play around with a graph as well. This is how you want it to start slow, it gets a little fast and then gets a little slow, and you can decide the time duration. I think I'll set it to some 0.8 or something. Now let's just go and see a preview. Yeah, you see how it opened? Let's just do it once again. The section has animated and come up, right? So that's what this effect has done. Let me just go ahead and add it to this image section as well, because it's going to be a nice thing to have. Appear, not fade in, but to slide in bottom, and I will go play around with the effect. I don't want spring, I want ease, and I'm going to just slightly tighten it a little more, or you can leave a default as well. And I'm going to make this also 0.8. So they kind of appear together, right? Yeah, there you see, this is happening. Actually, I want it to come a tad bit slower so that we get that nice little effect. So instead of 0.8, I'm going to make it 0.9, tad bit, so that it takes a little while. Yeah, this is what I was trying to get. Yeah, so this is how the page loads and it just stays. I don't want any recurring motion or anything, right? Okay, this is nice. So similarly, you can add similar animations to wherever, you can make these pop one after another, but I'm not going to do one of those because, like I said, I'm just trying to see the design aspects of it. Now we have one more important design aspect remaining, which is the mobile version, right? So normally we would have to do all of these things. Let's see what it does, right? So I can click on breakpoint. I don't want a tablet right now. I want a phone, so I'll click on phone, and what happened? A few things few things broke, few things are appearing fine. So let's just go ahead and fix some of these things. Okay, this thing will come back later. Okay, now here let's see what is happening. So this one is our hero text group. This is our hero text, and this is our stack of the other thing. Now here we want them not vertical, but in mobile we want not horizontal, we want them vertical. So let's change that first, and this stack is also going to be there. What if I make the stack inside it? Yep, I made this stack inside so that this subtext and this button is also inside this. And also for phone, if you remember, I had added a global left and right padding of around 56. For mobile, this should be 20. So I'll just make them 20. And here we have it. And this one, let us position the rest of the things. And this text, of course, we had given it some 80 font size because which was right for desktop. In mobile, we don't want it so big. So here, since it's already set to heading 1, I can go inside heading 1 and edit heading 1 and add breakpoints here. I can add breakpoints here. And for this is large is nothing but this. For the medium one, it is suggesting that, hey, you can go for 64 if you want to, right? Yeah, I can actually go for 64 if I want. And actually, I'll go for 64. I'll just keep it like this. Or maybe, how about we make it 60? Yeah, I think 60 is good. I like the 3-line version more than the 4-line version, right? So there it is, So it's the same heading 1, but inside the heading 1 section, I have created breakpoints for larger, which is the desktop, and smaller, which is mobile. Okay, now let's fix this one. What's with this? This guy out here is width is fixed. I'm just going to call it relative. And inside that, we have this stack. And the section heading also had a max width, which we don't need it anymore. I'm just going to remove it. What if I just remove these things for now and just bring them out? Yeah, I think this just starts working. Something wasn't right out there. I don't know. I couldn't debug, but removing it certainly helped. So there we are. We have the text, and this also we can make it fill. And this also we're going to make it now. This section has a right padding of 100. We'll just get away with that padding right now. Now this section, if you remember, had a right padding of 100, which we had added for the desktop. Here we don't need it that much. We'll reduce it. We'll reduce it to around 30. I think 30 is fine. And this was heading 6. So in heading 6 also, we are going to add a breakpoint. And for the smaller size, it's suggesting 90. I'm just going to make it 20 and leave it like that. So we have another section. This section is cleaned up. This was pretty much there. And this, I think, it's just going to work here as well. So, I want it, if you see a preview of this one, I'll do a show UI and set it to phone. Yep. I think this scroll is already working. Let's go ahead and fix this part, right? So this is our heading 2. In heading 2 also, I'm just going to go and do an edit and add a breakpoint into smaller size. And the moment I do, it actually shows me some suggestions. So I will either accept 40. I think I'll make it 40 instead of 44. And this is fine. And this is the description. And this also heading 6. And we already have one. Okay, it got already changed. That's the advantage of using this. And this also had a right padding of 100. I'll just make it 0 because in these sections it's not needed. And now comes the important part, which is this services. So it was a horizontal stack with 4 in one row. But right now I want it to be a grid, and I want it to be in 2 and 2 in each row, right? And now once that we have it, I'm just going to reduce the size of these images. So they were around 221. I'll make them 160. I think this makes it much more palatable. And also these font sizes, they were heading 5. Similarly, I will just add a breakpoint for heading 5 as well. And the smaller one, they made it 19. I'll just make it 20. And I think we are good to go. But actually, let's make it 16. That way it'll also come in one row. I'll just come here and edit this. And I'll make it 16. I think this starts working, and we just need to adjust the padding because I feel we need more vertical padding here. And do we need more horizontal padding? I think 16 is good, and we are going to make this one 48. So there we have what we do section where the fonts are adjusting as per the mobile. And now let's come to this one. This section needs a bit of working, right? So let us see. First things first, let us take the first one. We'll just edit in one of them and the rest of the things will just start working. See, the way it works in responsive designs is whatever you do on the desktop. Oops, something broke here. Let me just see what happened here. Oh, I removed those. Things. Let's go back. Let's go back to this. I cannot remove these because Now it has got a couple of stacks inside now, which I cannot remove because if I remove, it's going to affect here as well. Because the way it works is whatever you do on the desktop side, it gets carried forward to the mobile and not vice versa. So, the mobile is always the child. It inherits the things from here. So if I remove some layout, it will affect. No, what am I saying, man? Shit. Now, whatever we create on desktop gets carried forward in mobile, but if we remove a structure, it starts affecting everywhere. So which means if I remove some of these things which we have here, so I can change the direction of the auto layout and all of that, but if I remove the auto layout itself, it is not going to work. Okay, so let's just go ahead and fix this. This is our hero text. If you remember on the right, we had a padding of around 100. I will just remove that for now because we don't need it. So I think it already started working out a bit. I'll add a little more top padding here because it's a more vertical sort of a layout. And here we'll just go to edit and we all have it 60, and I will change this to around 56. I think that will be nicer that way. And let's see for this one. For heading 6 also, we'll add a breakpoint, and in the smaller one, the size is suggesting as 19. I'll make it 20, and I think this is already fine. So this section is working. This preview section, this ticker section should work on this regardless. Let's just take a look. Let's see a preview. Yep, the animations are working. Get in touch is there. And we have all of that. Now let's go ahead and fix this section. In this section also, all that we need to do is, first of all, we just need to add those breakpoints for medium. It's 44, I'll just make it 40. And similarly for this one, heading 6, I'll add a breakpoint here, medium. It's set to 20. I will leave it 20 because it was already there. We'll remove that 100 padding that we had out there. Now here's the main section, right? This is where I think it's a little more messed up. So these were the services. It was initially a horizontal auto layout where things were coming one after another. In this one, I'm going to make it a grid, a 2x2 grid, something like this. So all that I had to do is just change the stack to grid, and I already have the layout, right? And now we'll do some adjustments. So these images, they were around 221 before. I'll make them around 160, and I think this is much better. Similarly, these text, it was set to heading 5. I will edit it, add a breakpoint, and for the medium one, I will make it around 16. And you see it already started working. And of course, we need to adjust some amount of padding. Now that it's a grid, there are two kinds of padding, which is X and also Y. So I'm just going to make this 16, and this I will increase it to around 40. So here we have this what we do section kind of ready, right? And now that I look at it, I feel this can be even smaller. What if we make it not 40, however, make it 36? I think 36 is much better. Yeah. Cool. So the second section is done. Now let's go to this section, which feels like it's like badly messed up, right? But don't worry, it's very simple to fix some of these things. Okay. So let's come here. So let's pick one. So the good thing about code is that you can fix one thing and it'll start working, right? So in mobile, I want the case studies to be, the image should be at the top and this text should be underneath it, right? So that's like the basic structural change that I want to make. So in this case study, I'm working on the first one only. This was a horizontal auto layout. I'm just going to make a vertical auto layout. You see, that itself fixed a lot of things that we wanted to make. Now let's go to the frame, which is nothing but the image. The image, previously we had given a width of 150%. Now we want to give it 100% because we are taking up the entire thing. And height, we will reduce it. We'll reduce it to around 320, perhaps. Yeah, 320 is perhaps good. And we'll also reduce some padding that was there between. It was 20, not radius, sorry. And this entire case study thing, the padding gap was 32. We'll make it around 16 and see. 16? Or what if we make it 20? 20. Okay. We have a few more work to do as well. This one, I will just lose the padding that we had. The right padding that we have on desktop. We don't need it on mobile. And here, this heading needs to be much smaller, right? So let's just go ahead and make a heading 3 equivalent for breakpoint media. Let's set it to 29. I think I'll make it 28 and just live with it. And similarly, this one, body, we will make a body breakpoint. And for medium, we'll make it 60. Yes, this is right. And of course, as usual, we will get away with the right padding that we have of 100, which we don't need on mobile. I think this section is working out fine. So read case study is also good, fine out there. And here the font size is 20. I'll make it 16 or 18. Yeah, and this is good. So you see, we just fixed one of them. And now the rest of the things, we don't have to do anything. If you delete here, it'll get deleted there as well. So we can just delete these two things. Or we could just delete these things here. This is case study. Just delete this. And there is one more case study. Delete this. And just copy this one because the changes were made to the first one. Right? If you make a copy, you have the same case studies in the new format that you just made. Right? Similarly, let's fix this one as well. This is our get in touch section. In get in touch, I think it looks largely fine. It's just that the width we had set to fix, if you remember. Now we will make it fill and we'll make it 100%, right? So, or we can do a relative and 100%. Let's see. Or we can do just a relative and 100%. You have the same kind of results, right? Okay, I think this is working out pretty well. Just that some of these paddings are a little too much for mobile standards, so we'll fix that as well. So here in this one, the top padding, let us just reduce it by 20. Bottom also, let us reduce it by, let's make it 40. No, let's make it 60. And let's try to do the same thing everywhere. What if we make it 60, 60 everywhere? Even here, this is going to be 60. And okay, this is the bottom of the page. So it can just be like this. All right, I think we have the mobile page perfectly working. One thing is remaining, which is our bottom nav. This is the last thing we will fix and we are sorted. Before that, let's just go and see how it is working. Yeah, animations are working. Everything looking nice. And we are good. Let's just go back and fix this. Now here, what we want is in mobile, in desktop, when you have a logo on the left and the tabs at the right, in mobile, that becomes a hamburger menu. And we are going to do exactly the same. And for that, we will need to convert this into a component because these are two different things that are going to happen. So I'm going to right click on this top nav bar and do a create component. And top nav bar, I will do a create. And it intelligently picked up the mobile thing as well because it was on mobile. Okay. Now here we'll have to do a couple of things. I need a hamburger menu. So let me just go ahead and add a frame. I will just add a frame. And this frame, I want it to be around 36 by 36. Okay. And I'll give it a black fill. And inside this, I'll make a hamburger, right? Let's use this path tool, or let's use the rectangle tool. I think that'll be better. Let's use the rectangle tool. I'll fill it up with the same color that we had here. And we'll give it a height of around 2 pixels. And what if we make it around 28? And let's give it a radius also around 2 pixels. So there we have it. So there it is. And now, what if we make this into a auto layout or layout, right? We'll make it vertical and we'll copy 2 times. And now we can decide the padding between them, right? So let's make it around 8. And this is our stack, or this is our hamburger CTA. Now I'll make this also into a component. Okay, so I'll right click and create another component. I'll call it hamburger CTA. Now why we are doing this is because once the hamburger is clicked, it should become a cross. So I'll add a variant, right? So I click on this one, add a variant. If you see, this is there to add a variant. This variant is nothing but when it crosses, and we'll also do a small animation here. So when it happens, all that we want is, I want this to rotate. This is the variant one. We'll just name it burger default, and we'll call it burger close. Okay, now this, I want this to rotate by maybe -45. Yeah, let's make it rotate by -45. And this one, I want it to rotate by +45. And I want this opacity to go to 0. Okay, and now we'll align it. I'll use the align tools and I will bring them to the center. Okay, this has got a layout. I will just get away with the layout here. And now we'll bring all these things to the center. I will just use the align tools and bring all this to the center, and also the one where opacity is 0, I'll bring it to the center. Okay, so here we have a burger to close, and the way to do it is we will just use an interaction. I'll click on interaction. I'll call a new transition, and new transition, it should go to burger close, right? And so yeah, this thing got kind of created. So on clicking, it just goes here. If you want to see a preview of this, you'll see when you click on this should become a cross, right? Similarly, we want to do the other way around as well. So I want to add another burger close. It's already there. So when I click on this, I will change this to burger default. Means when you click on the hamburger, you go to close. When you click on the close, you go to burger default, right? All right, so we made the hamburger icon. Now let's go back to the top nav component that we had, and somehow it got, why is this like this? Fixed. Yeah, this should be fixed. Width is 36. Height is also 36. Okay, so this is our hamburger. Okay, now I will put this hamburger menu, copy, and I will put it inside our logo, right? This was already an auto layout and I will keep it here, right? This will be there on the desktop as well, but I'm going to hide this. The way to hide this is just visible, set it to no. Okay, now when you do that, it appears here as well, because like I said, whatever you do on desktop appears on mobile as well, right? So this is where we would want to bring it back. So here we have the hamburger. Here I will make it visible, right? Here it's not visible, here it's visible, right? And now to this auto layout, I'm just going to change the distribute to space between. Sorry, I'm going to do this distribute to end. So it's visible right now. Now we'll go and set the width to fill, right? Fill, it has gone all the way to the end, and distribute, I'll make it space between. Yeah, space between should work, right? So now it started looking more like how a mobile navigation should look like, right? But then in mobile navigation, you don't really have this, you don't have this. So what do we do with this? Let's see. Now, the only difference is in a desktop, you just have one state for navigation. In mobile, you'll have two states. One is open state and closed state. What you see right now is a mix of both. So we'll add one more variant to the mobile one as well, which is this, right? So this will call it, phone closed, and this one will call it phone open. Okay. Now in phone closed, I don't want this to be visible at all. So this one, I will just reduce the opacity. Now this started looking more like a mobile nav, right? Now for these also we'll make a change. So this one was set as an auto layout horizontal. We'll make it vertical right now, and we'll make a few more changes as well. So this height, we will just call it fit content for now, and this top nav items, this also will make it fit content. So that way we have some more space out here, and we will make it width to relative 100%, and we will set it to right, and we'll of course add padding on all the sides. Let's try around 40. Oops, sorry, not really. Let's try around 40 padding on all the sides, right? Maybe 40 is a little too much. Let's do 32. And of course, I want to make the size a little big here. So it's a Saptarshi medium 16. What if we make it around 24? Because this should be tappable with fingers. So now that we do that, we might need a little more gap as well. So I'll just make it 32 gap. And yeah, this is how it is, right? So this is our menu that we have made, right? Now, but if you look at it in mobile, there are actually two states. The first state is where it is closed, and the second state is where it is open. So what you see here is actually the open state. So let me add one more variant. So this is nothing but phone open. Oops. And this will be phone closed. And in phone closed, I want this to be not visible. So I'll just reduce the opacity of this to 0, and I will set the height of this to a fixed 64. I'll set a height of this to a fixed 64, whatever it was before, right? And now I will create a hyperlink between these two, which is like just like you do Figma prototype. We have done it in the hamburger as well. So here, if I just click on this, it should go here. On click, yes, it should go here. Similarly, when I click on this, it should go back to this one, right? Now let's go ahead and test this particular component. So when I click on this, yep, you see when I click on this, it opens up, and this hamburger also got clicked, so changed into cross. So yeah, it is actually working the way it is. Just that, there is a bit of weird animation that is happening. That also we can fix with a bit of animation, which is here, when they open, let's add an appear animation, right? So let's go to effects, appear, and I will do an slide in bottom and effect. Let it be spring, let's see how it looks like. So I will just open this and let's see if it makes any difference. Why is it not showing up? Let's see. Okay, it's flying from bottom, so we might need it from flying from top. Okay, slide in bottom, no, slide in top. We want it to come from top because that's where it is opening. Oh, it's not working. Let's see. Okay. I'll have to debug this a bit. On appear, scale and slide in top. Slide in top is fine. Effect. What is wrong with the effect? Let's make it a little slower, maybe. Phone. I can set the direction of it slightly slower. I hope this helps. No, this isn't working out right now, so I will figure this out later, but let's go and see how it is working on our website, right? So, okay, since we made some changes, some things got moved, but okay, we can quickly fix them. So this is our mobile. Let's just go and see a preview of it, right? So there we are. It is sticking at the top. We have our website ready. Now, if I click on this one, yeah, it opens up. Actually, it's appearing much better here than what it was appearing there, right? Okay, yeah, this is working. I just feel there was a bit of a separation here. We can do that by adding a bit of shadow if you want to. But I'm not going to do that right now because this is working. So I have a desktop version and a mobile version of the same website, and I made them without using Figma. So we made it. A complete website designed and published in one place. This exercise is definitely a success because I could design it without touching Figma, and this genuinely feels different. But this isn't just about skipping steps. It's about removing the gap between what you design and what people actually see. When you design where you publish, there's no translation layer, so nothing gets lost in translation. But the real takeaway here is tools should enable our vision, not slow it down. I have seen a lot of website building tools which does a good job at building, but when it comes to designing something on it, it feels too heavy and complicated. So we always keep going back to Figma to do our design and then coming back or doing some sort of a bridge connection using a plugin and stuff like that, which are all okay. But when you're designing, just like the way you do on Figma, same simplicity, in fact, same keyboard shortcuts to a good extent, it just feels magical. Making a full website usually takes handoffs, revisions, and time, but landing pages, portfolios, or quick prototypes, this workflow is perfect. Whether you're a designer who wants to ship without waiting, a founder testing ideas fast, or someone with a project in your Notes app, now it's the time to build it. Go check out Framer. It's a free unlimited projects, unlimited pages. Link is in the description. And if you found it useful, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. See you at the next one.